Rising amongst the period when other movies of the type were on the downfall, the Equalizer franchise managed to do something more than it has ever hoped for, which is why I am here to take a first look into things together with you, as the third movie has officially been confirmed. The Equalizer franchise has been a huge hit, there is no doubt about it. And let's be honest with ourselves, there is a chance that no other actor could pull off the role of Robert McCall other than Denzel Washington. The Equalizer 2 is actually the first sequel in which Denzel Washington participated in, despite many other of his previous movies probably deserving a sequel. When he was asked whether it is a curse or something else about the whole sequel theory, and him not starring in any so far outside of the Equalizer franchise, he responded that he was never asked for a sequel to begin with, which sounds strange, but it could very well be true. So now, with the sequel behind us and the news of a third movie from the franchise coming, I am here to take you on a journey and tell you everything that we know so far about it, the release date, the cast, the first incoming teaser of sorts, and even some plot details that have been circling around the internet, as well as a plot theory that I stumbled upon recently. But first, let's see where the second movie ended and what it could tell us regarding the upcoming sequel. And without further ado, let's dive right in. Denzel returned for the Equalizer 2 as the ex-CIA Black Ops operative.
I'm a piece of advice. Always be nice to anybody has access to your toothbrush.
And despite the post-credit scene becoming a thing, the movie did not showcase any. The more important thing regarding the second movie of the franchise is the fact that it wrapped up all things nicely before the end credits started to roll. And while it is worth it to wait for the credits to roll and see what the studio prepared for the audience, unfortunately, there was not one post-credit scene at the end of the Equalizer 2. And if I am asked, despite the whole thing being an interesting take on things, there was no need for one. The reviews for the movie were more than good, with the action thriller closing its theatrical run with $192 million at the worldwide box office, an astonishing number considering that the budget for the movie was only $55 million. This immediately signaled a sequel on the way, or that is what the nature of the filming industry made us believe is happening next. But the news of us actually getting a sequel did not come right away, which can be due to the reviews of the movie from the side of the critics that were not great, and many people have said that a sequel has little to no chance of happening.
You don't know what death is. You have no idea what death is.
But here we are, a third movie from the franchise confirmed, which brings me to the next thing that I want to talk about. The first look regarding the upcoming movie and everything revolving around it. And with that out of the way, let me continue. Robert McCall will once again put his deadly set of skills to use at least once in the third sequel of the franchise, with Denzel Washington yet again there to hit that like button just like you should if you haven't done so already. But no, in reality, he will be reprising his role, one of his most famous roles in recent history, and bring the character to life once again as part of his successful franchise of The Equalizer. That seems to be loosely based on the 1980s CBS series starring Edward Woodward, and this upcoming movie, even before its release, confirmed to be the last piece of the full planned trilogy that it was created by Antoine Fuqua. The franchise found itself in a peculiar situation because when you look at it, the first movie of the franchise was released in an era where movies about retired assassins and stories centered mostly around vigilante justice found an increased level of popularity. Although both director Fuqua and Washington were seemingly on board for a third movie.
Call 911. You tell them the truth about what happened in here tonight. Your daddy's money's not going to save you this time, you understand?
It took quite some time for us to get the news about The Equalizer 3, and the lack of announcements cast some doubts on the studio's confidence about the future of the franchise, which did not help at all back at the time. Luckily, all of that is behind us right now, and I am together with you to see when the movie will release. And as it stands right now, the movie has been scheduled to release on the 1st of September 2023. However, considering that there is plenty of time till then, you should be ready if any delays occur in the meantime. The details about the movie's release, on the other hand, look settled within the filming industry. But until the filming of the movie does not begin, I cannot be certain. As for the cast side of things, Denzel Washington will return for the role of Robert McCall and everything that he brings to the table, taking on the role of a vigilante defender for those who cannot protect themselves. But the one thing missing is the fact of what kind of a mundane job will he be working in the third movie, something that has yet to be disclosed.
Listen, since you're in my house, water my plants for me, will you? Because I'm not going to be back for a while.
It is highly unlikely that any of the other characters from the previous two movies will return, outside of Ashton Sanders as Miles, the young artist who Robert liked so much in the sequel. One interesting cast suggestion says that Dakota Fanning could be starring in the upcoming movie. That will reunite with Denzel Washington and work on the same project after 18 years when the two starred together in one of the most famous movies of Denzel, Man on Fire. So far, all the other cast details are kept under wraps, and outside of Fuqua returning to direct the third movie, he will be joined by the likes of Richard Wink, who smashed that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. But no, on the more serious side, he penned the script for the second movie and will do the same in the upcoming one, with the duo working together once again. No plot details have been revealed as of yet, but we might have already gotten a hint or two from the likes of Fuqua, who expressed his desires for the third movie, and them being for it to take place in Europe, or at least some of the events to be filmed in Europe, and send Robert on a different continent and see him intertwined with some other criminal organizations, possibly involved in some big game leagues. Fuqua also added that this thought of his was an inspiration from Denzel himself. Thinks that he would be a great James Bond type character in the franchise, and this goes along very well with the fact that the two movies took place on the domestic ground, with the third movie possibly branching out and bringing in a lot more danger to the fold. The ending of the second movie might not reveal anything special about the upcoming one, or for that reason, have any leads as to where the franchise will go next. However, it is a clear indicator as to what the basics of the third movie will eventually be. For instance, finding a purpose to remain a prevalent theme in the franchise, or should I say, finding one if you are left clueless, and give purpose to other individuals when they have nothing. Guide them to become an even better version of themselves, something Robert managed to do for all of the victims that were taken care of under his wing. As for Robert McCall, and the last time we saw him, well, he is looking toward the sea. He has done a lot of good for the people he cares about and came into contact with, giving himself a purpose to keep doing things he dedicated his life to, while also helping others around him the best way he can. See you in the next video.